Welcome back to YouTube, Dirt Nap Bros. This is Stefan, this is Hunter. Today we're going to be doing a review on the 10-point Titan SS crossbow.
I purchased this crossbow 2 seasons ago. It's actually an interesting story. It was opening day of deer season. Stefan and I were sitting in a blind together.
Huge 4-point came in.
That's not true. It was actually that crazy big spike.
It's a 4-point.
Okay.
We'll
argue that later.
We'll argue. It's
A
a matter
deer
of opinion.
with antlers came in.
It's a matter of opinion.
Okay. So, I went to go move the crossbow and slightly brushed against the blind, the canvas of the blind, and it took off. So that, at the time, was not with the 10-point Titan SS. That was with a bear archery crossbow. That crossbow had been shot 4 times, me sighting it in, getting used to it, prior to that hunt, right? Mm-hmm. So we're sitting in there, and we heard what sounded like a cheap lawn chair, one of those cheap plastic lawn chairs, cracking. And I looked at Stefan and I said, "What was that?" He said, "I don't know." So we decided to open up the blind and take a look. Mostly because I was concerned my big butt was going to end up on the ground because I just broke my chair. Start looking around, and he points and goes, "Holy crap, it's a crossbow!" And the limbs were cracked. So I ended up going back to Field and Stream with a crossbow that had 4 cracked limbs, fully charged, with no way to discharge it safely, the bed of my truck, and gave it to them. Well, they have a special tool they can use to let the load off of the limbs. They did that. They apologized, and I got this thing for one heck of a deal. So this thing right now retails on Amazon for $5.99. So $600. I think I got this thing for almost $300, maybe a little less. So overall, I love it. Like I said, I've used it for 2 seasons, and just like everything that we talk about on this channel, it's nothing that we haven't purchased with our own money, and it's nothing that we haven't used. Everything that we review, everything that we talk about is stuff that we have reviewed or used, in the field for at least a season, if not more. So I've used this for 2 seasons now. It has done me well. It's harvested 2 deer with it. I never said I was good at hunting. I just said I'd like it. Harvested 2 deers with it, and I mean, it's easy to use. It's simple. It's about 120 pounds of draw weight, so it's not super heavy. And again, like we've said in our other videos, when you draw these, that draw weight is not you need to be able to, bend over and pick up 100 pounds. These things are just like compound bows, and they have these things on them here and here called cams. Those cams at some point give a specific amount of let off, right? So when I have a Hoyt Torx compound bow that's set at 65 pound draw weight, so when I draw that back, I start at 65 pounds, and then I get like an 80-90% let off. So I'm only pulling a couple of pounds. It's the same with these. So the track here is where you would insert your arrow after it's cocked, which, by the way, it has to be on fire to be cocked because these have a safety mechanism that'll lock it into safe for you. So you draw it, strings locked, it goes in safe. You reach up in here, what's called the no-no zone. You slide your arrow in. You have to make sure it's seated correctly, and after that, it's sit and wait. The safety on this, kind of loud. It's like that on every crossbow, but if you do it real slow and you're real methodical about it, you shouldn't get too much noise or feedback in there. The assist device that we talked about in the Rocky Mount 405 video, you can also purchase. There's 2 screws here. It pops off. It sits here. You hook it onto your string and you just crank. A lot of states you have to be disabled to use a crossbow. In North Carolina, you don't. And I will tell you, as someone who got into hunting at an older age and didn't have much outside of Stefan and a couple of guys from backcountry hunters and anglers to teach me how to hunt, it was pretty intimidating to get into. When I found out that crossbows were legal in North Carolina for everybody, and that they were literally like using a rifle, but that my season was going to be from September to January, I jumped all over it. Sighting these things in is super easy. You know, it's 3 or 4 reticles in the 10-point scope that it comes in. You can adjust how your zoom. 2 caps here come off. You got little clicks just like you would on a rifle, up, down, left, right. You set it at 20 yards, throw a bolt in there, shoot it at a bag, and you make adjustments as needed. They're quiet, they're easy, they're simple, and frankly, they're fun. And they're legal to take almost any type of game you want. Mm-hmm. They come with field tips, they come with concussion tips. You can buy, you know, obviously field points for them, depending on what you want. Yeah. Yep.
I mean, and this one is taking a deer. Taking a couple of deers, actually. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they went about 30.
No, that one went less than 20.
Yeah, one, yeah. The first
less
year.
than 20.
Yeah, the first year, yeah. First year, yeah.
By the way, Red Daniels, if you watch this, sponsor us. We love you.
Yep. Yep. So, funny story. So, after he got this bow the first year, I was actually waiting for my dental appointment, and he texted me. He's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm waiting for my dental appointment, man." It's like, I just shot my first deer. And I was like, "Oh, well, good luck, buddy, because I'm about to get my teeth clean." But yeah, great compound. What would you say? Would you recommend this compound? Not the compound.
The crossbow.
Crossbow.
Yeah.
Recommend this crossbow to buy?
If you're looking for a crossbow in the midpoint price range, like, you know, because I mean they go all the way up to a couple thousand. Well, $1,000
so
plus.
Even
bucks.
more than that.
Yeah. You can get them for a couple $1,000. You can get them for $200. Like we talked about the 405. If you're looking for something in the midpoint cross range, I would recommend the 10-point Titan SS. I would recommend any 10-point. Quality product, held up well. I'm sorry, rain, ice, water. I've carried it all over the damn place. It has done me well. It's still held up. And matter of fact, even though I bought that compound bow and we're getting acquainted, I'm probably going to still shoot this next year at some point. And if I'm not, at least one of my kids is. Highly recommend it. Like, subscribe, and tell your friends so we can keep making these cringy videos as our kids tell us. Yeah, help us embarrass them. We appreciate it.
And lastly but not last, you can't hand out dirt naps if you're sitting on your couch.